everybody. Today I'm making the third video of the Kingdom of Fantasy. If you haven't watched the second video, get out of the video and please watch it. Give us a like on the second and a subscribe. And now I'm gonna read you the third part. So we got from the Queen of the Witches. We stopped from here. This is where we started. You guys will go from all the way there. When you're done that video, come back. An enchanted login with deep blue water. At that moment, the top hats in the music box slid open. I heard a strange musical note, a D. Beneath the top hats was a golden hair comb decorated with more yellow gems. Suddenly, I heard a splash. We were standing beside a login. Deep blue waves glittered in the sunlight. On the horizon, I spotted a ship. I wondered if there were pirates on board. I climbed up a palm tree to get a better view, but the ship had already disappeared. Oh well. One thing that didn't disappear was the fruit. It was all over the place. We stuffed our faces the whole time. Hopper rambled on and on. Guess his mother never told him that it's rude to croak with your mouth full. Conked by a coconut. After we ate, Hopper lay down beneath the palm tree. I think I ate too many bananas, he chuckled. He rubbed his tummy, then let out a noisy burp. I plopped down beside him at last, a quiet, relaxing spot, I said with a sigh. No spiders, no werewolves, no witches. I closed my eyes, feeling content. What could go wrong here? Well, I guess I could get too much sun. I must. Or I could get too much sand. Or I could get hit on the head with a coconut. Burp, bonk. Just then, a coconut hit me on the head. I fainted. 2 seconds later, I came to. Hopper was splashing cold water on my snout. I'm awake, I sputtered. The frog snickered. Fair night. You are so foolish. Why don't you put on your helmet, he croaked. I grinned. This night thing was starting to get on my nerves. I don't have a helmet because I'm not a knight, I squeaked. Hopper wasn't listening. He was staring at a seashell. There was a map of the Kingdom of the Mermaids drawn on the shell. Now where did that come from? Follow me to the bottom of the sea. Good night, the frog said. It's as easy as hopping. I chewed my whiskers. I wasn't much of a hopper. As a mouse, I preferred to scamper. The frog led me to a coral staircase rising up just above the waves. Then he started hopping down the stairs. The Kingdom of the Mermaids. Color, orange. Gem, topaz, metal, silver. Musical note, D. Queen. Her Marin Majesty Aquafin. Empress of the Great Blue, Queen of the Golden Sea, Princess of the Silver Fins, Lady of the Mermaids, Governor of the Grand Flippers, and Ruler of the World Under the Waves. Royal Palace, Coral Castle, Guardian of the Kingdom, the Sea Serpent, Currency of the Kingdom, Pearls, Spoken Language, Sireness, History of Inhabitants. In Greek mythology, the Sirens were daughters of the river god Achelous, who had the torso of a man and the legs of a bull. They fastened sailors with their songs, luring them to the rocks and causing shipwrecks. In the Odyssey, a poem by Homer written in the 8th century BCE. The cunning hero Odysseus heard their song as a precautionary measure. He had his friends fill their ears with wax, and they tied him to his ship's mast so that they could enjoy their song. Here's the map of the Kingdom of the Mermaids. So you can see that's the door to the kingdom. And Then first you go on a bridge. So you have all this here. 5 is called Black Shark. So let's see. The Kingdom of the Mermaids. There's a sea serpent behind you. I scrambled behind Scribblehopper. But I can't breathe underwater, I stammered. He grinned. This is a special sea, he said. It's called the Great Blue. Try putting your head under the water. Reluctantly, I stuck my snout beneath the waves. Cheesecake! I could breathe, and I could hear the voices of the fish. I went down one step at a time, clutching the coral banister. Scribblehopper on the other paw was having a blast. He joked with the clownfish, chattered with the dolphins, and tickled the starfish. Meanwhile, I was scared out of my wits. Everything looked spooky underwater. And what was that huge dark shadow overhead? Rats, it was a killer whale. The frog stopped his chattering. Look out for that fish, he warned. As we hid, I thought I would give Scribblehoppers a quick science lesson. The killer whale isn't a fish. It's a mammal just like a dolphin, I explained. After the killer whale swam away, I found myself snout to snout with the huge fish. It was a giant shark. Its eyes stared at me menacingly. My heart pounded under my fur. I was so scared I started sweating underwater. The shark looked me over like a piece of lunch meat, or was it dinner? I've never tasted a rodent. But there's a first time for everything, it snarled. I dived behind the reef. Come back here, Mousie, it shirked. Racing after me. Minutes later, it banged its head into the reef. Wow, I want my mommy, it cried. Then it swam off. And I thought I was a scaredy mouse. We made our way further down the coral steps. It was getting darker and spookier. I shivered. Even Scribblehopper stopped chattering. Then he stopped hopping. Look, there's a sea serpent behind you, he cried. I rolled my eyes. Oh, don't be silly, I scoffed. Sea serpents don't exist. The frog's eyes grew huge. Don't be silly, yikes. No, really, he stammered. There's really is a sea serpent behind you. I snorted. This frog must have thought I was born yesterday. I was turning around just to show him I wasn't afraid, and I came snout to snout with the scaly, slimy, mysterious sea serpent. As I stared in horror, its jaws opened wide. I gulped. That sea serpent had more teeth than my great Uncle Chompers. Do you know him? He can chomp through a whole block of cheddar in one bite. Help! You're sleepy. You're very sleepy. The sea serpent forked tongue elected my hand out. Elected in and out. Maybe he's just saying hello, I told myself. I was trying to be brave. Well, hello to you, too, I squeaked. Seen any good movies lately? The serpent ignored me. It began to swing around me faster and faster. Its eyes drilled into mine. My head began to spin and 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 spin. You're getting sleepy, very sleepy, the serpent murmured. Dazed, I realized that I really was sleepy. The sea serpent had coiled itself around us and was dragging us down to the bottom of the sea. a rose-colored coral castle. I woke up in front of a majestic castle made of rose-colored coral, surrounded by colorful algae. Scribhopper told me this was Coral Castle. A troop of seahorses led by a merman escorted us to a long hall. At the end of the hall were 2 thrones made of pearl. Both thrones were empty. On the dance floor, a snobby-looking tuna wearing a textile whirled around. He seemed to be giving dancing lessons to a mermaid with eyes the color of the sea. Her hair shimmered like the sun at sunset. The scales of her long tail were sparkly silver. She was Aquafin, the queen of the mermaids. I watched as she twisted around faster and faster. She was making me dizzier than the sea serpent. Finally, she twirled right over to her throne and plopped down into it. A crab raced over with a tray of pastries. The treats looked worse than my grouchy grandma Bunny Whiskers, disgusting spinach and cheese cannibals. A court of octopuses, crabs, oysters, and clams surrounded Aquafin, all chatting away. One baby octopus pointed at me and grinned. "I bet Her Majesty would like to take a bite out of that knife," it said with a smirk. Its mother patted its tentacle. "My little darling is so observant," she boasted to the other mothers in the crowd. I twisted my tail up in knots. I was starting to get a really bad feeling about this. I was feeling like I wanted to swim for my life. Just then I had an idea. I reached into my pocket and pulled out the golden hair comb. It wasn't long before Queen Aquafina noticed it. Within seconds, she had jumped off her throne, swum across the room, and yanked it out of my paw. "Whatever happened to please and thank you?" "What is it?" she cried. "Oh, it's adorable. What beautiful sparkling jewels. I love jewels." She stuck the comb in her hair, then admired herself in her clamshell mirror. Queen Aquafin. The entire court showered her with compliments. "It's beautiful, Your Majesty," gushed the seahorse. "It's so you," agreed an octopus. Simply stunning," said a smiling shark. Queen Aquafin silenced them with the thump of her tail. Then she shot me a coy smile. "Why, knight, this was a perfectly adorable gift," she purred. I bowed my head. "I'm well, glad you like it. I was actually wondering if you could grant us permission to travel through your realm to the kingdom of the dragons," I said. Queen Aquafin looked me over from head to tail. Then she slapped her hand on the empty throne beside her. "You're too adorable to leave." This is getting to a part I don't like in the book, guys. "Right away, sit down here," she commanded. I bowed again. "I am honored to your offer, but I really need to be going," I squeaked. Queen Aquafin shot me a look. "You don't think you can swim away just like that, do you? I'll be the one to tell you when you can leave. Now tell me an adorable story or I'll feed you to the carnivorous clams," she ordered. I chewed my whiskers. "How about a fairy tale?" I offered. Queen Aquafin clapped her hand in delight. "Just make sure it's adorable," she warned, "or those clams will be munching tonight." I swallowed and began to tell the story. When I finished, Queen Aquafin squealed with joy. "What an adorable story," she cried. "Listen up, creatures. I've decided this mouse is too adorable to go. Now I must have the most adorable wedding. I want to marry him and keep him here with me forever. Now I must have the most adorable wedding. I want a bouquet of sea anemones, a gown studded with pearls, a dazzling crown, and a wedding carriage drawn by 1,000 snow-white dolphins, a gown studded with pearls, a bucket of sea anemones, a dazzling crown, and a wedding carriage drawn by 1,000 snow-white dolphins, and I want it all by tomorrow. A tiny lobster tried to protest, but your majesty, we cannot do it all by tomorrow. Queen Aquafina swished her tail with irritation. Just do what I said, she roared, while the sea creatures were arguing. Scribhopper and I made a mad dash for the coral stairs, but the queen of the mermaids noticed right away. Come back here, or I'll turn you into fish stew, she shrieked. A chorus of 1,000 mermaids. Queen Aquafina grabbed a telephone made from a seashell. Hello, Blackbeard the pirate. A mouse and a frog are escaping. Stop them immediately. Especially the rodents, she commanded. The mermen blew their horns. Toot, 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 toot. Queen Aquafina began to sing. A chorus of 1,000 mermaids joined in. Cheese niblets, they were singing the song of the sirens. It's a song with hypnotic powers. No one can resist it. I need to go. Queen Aquafina is calling. The sea is deep. The sea is wide. The sea is always on your side. Listen to my voice, and you won't have a choice. Forever you'll remain here with me, with me, with me. No! My head started to swim. My paws started to tremble. I was being hypnotized again. Then I had an idea. Quickly, I tore off the hem of my jacket. I used it to plug my ears. Then I gave some material to Scribblehopper. My trick worked. We started climbing up the stairs again. Then, just before we reached the surface, I tripped. The music box slipped from my backpack. It tumbled down into the sea. I crawled into the beach sobbing. Oh, how could I be such a cheesehead, I cried. I can't believe I've lost Queen Blossom's music box. Just as I was about to tear out all of my fur, a sea turtle rose. Sigh. Up from the bottom of the sea, it was carrying the music box in its mouth. It laid the box down on the sand beside me. My name is Shelley, she said. I saw you drop Queen Blossom's music box and I thought you might need it. What luck. I was on cloud 9. Then Shelley turned around. Oh, one other thing. You'd better hurry. Blackbeard's pirate ship is coming after you, she added. My heart sank. Let me see how long. Okay, we're almost there. Blackbeard's ship. We're heading towards the kingdom of the fairies to save Queen Blossom, who's in trouble, I explained to Shelley. The turtle nodded. May I come with you, she asked shyly. I shook her paw. We would be honored, I said. This made Scribhopper super excited. There will be 3 of us. We can be a team. How we should make a name for ourselves. How about the 3 Musketeers, he suggested. No, we're not all mice, I said. How about the Dream Team? No, that's too sappy, said Scribblehopper. What about the Order of the Fairy Queen? Offered Shelley. We shook in agreement. Long live the Order of the Fairy Queen. But just then an icy wind made my whiskers quiver. Queen Aquafina had steered up a hurricane to destroy us. The high winds whisked sand and palm trees from the island into the sky. They tossed us around like wet socks in a clothes dryer. How much time passed? Seconds, hours. Finally, the whirlwind died down and we found ourselves back on the beach. Shelley had cut herself on a sharp reef. I ripped off a strip of cloth from my shirt and bandaged up the wound. It wasn't an easy thing to do. You see, the sight of blood makes me feel faint. Just as we were breathing a sign of our life, a ship appeared on the horizon. Rats. Blackbeard's ship was sailing right for us. Shelly told us to climb into her back. She swam toward the citrine door. It would lead us to the kingdom of the dragons. The turtle stopped at the door. I must leave you now, she said. My injury will only slow you down. Thanks for letting me be part of the team. I felt awful. Shelly would never have been hurt if she hadn't tried to help us. Don't go, so Hopper and I cried, but Shelly just smiled. It's okay, she said. Don't be sad. Remember, the hearts of friends will always be together. The turtle pointed to a large yellow stone hidden in the palm trees. There's a citrine door that will take you to the kingdom of the dragons, she said. It was midnight. We had to hurry, waving goodbye to Shelly. We walked through the citrine door, the door to the kingdom of the dragons. Ooh, this kingdom is full of smoke. Thank you for watching my video. We're going to stop here. If you want to see next part of Geronimo Stilton, please watch the second and third and first video. And then please give all the videos a like and a subscribe. Goodbye.